All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Semifinals, top 16 Pro Sport Truck Series, Reading, Michigan. Everybody hear me okay? I see Billy and Jim. They've been on here a little early. That's good. We got a late start. I wanted to try to get some updates for you. I don't know if I'll be able to stay here throughout the whole cast, but I do have one cast reporting into me right now. So we will start off first by Charles Martin. Good to see you. We will start off first by just doing the matchups. Let everybody know who drew what. I got that in front of me. Yeah, it's we got one cast underway and reporting back to me. I don't know what took them so long. It is 10:30 out here in Reading, Michigan. Been dark a while, so yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna try to hang on here as long as I can. Remember, I got to get ready to cover that late round, and I got to tear this temporary. I wish you guys could see this. I got to tear this temporary disaster down before I get there. There you go, Jacob. May not see a coon tonight. Either way, I'll tell you what, my hunting's been really good after them rains. I'm excited to get back home and get back after it on Monday. But yeah, let's start with cast matchups. In cast one, we got Kyle Short. Of course, he is hunting Rock. Adam McGuire, he is hunting Ruby. Scott Engel is hunting Jack, and Bobby Burden hunting 9. That should be a power pack cast. I know I got some scores for that cast for y'all. They were turned loose at 10:23, so they've only been turned loose 5 minutes. And I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things written down. And so they had some fast and furious action in the first 5 minutes of that cast. All right, go to cast 2. We got Dustin Weed and Lefty. Lefty has not sold. He is for sale. Was talking to Dustin earlier today, and said he had a few calls, no takers yet. That's a quality animal. Quality animal. And so, yeah, I'm getting some updates here. That's why I'm a little distracted. I know you guys can normally see the whole desk, whole booth, and everything, but stuff's a little tight right here where I'm at. It's like I'm doing this in a phone booth. So you guys just have to bear with me. I know when I'm looking down, normally I'm writing or I'm checking my phone or I'm looking for where my coffee is. But all right, cast 2, Lefty, Dustin Weed. Looks like Dude with Alan Carlson. Axel, Justin Davenport, and Fame, Dual Murphy. Cast 3, we have Ann and John Strickland, Hooker and Jeff Stollard, Roy D, Tracy Thompson, and that is Skylar Osborne hunting Stranger. Cast 4, we got the old man, Michael Ward. Michael Ward's not an old man. He's still a young man, especially to me, who actually is an old man. He is hunting Cap. Chad Spradlin, he is behind national champion Trigger. I did visit with him and Jason today. They said Trigger's looking good. He looked good last night. Funny story. While we were waiting to take pictures, Chad had Trigger on a leash, and Trigger hiked his leg on him. Peed all over the back of his jeans, and Chad said that's okay. He did that right before he won nationals too. So if that works, they may start a new trend. We'll see. They've got Lenny and Gerald Keegan, and then they have Bolt with Ronnie Rowe. So those are your cast matchups. Like I said, we have some action in cast 1. That's not going to be enough for me to do a 3-hour live stream, I don't think. We'll stay on here as long as I can, and I will give you updates as long as I can. Like always, you guys got to help me out and give me some talking points, some questions. We will pick them. I'm trying to figure out how to do the pick them. I do have, but I only have one of the nice Joy hats in the old school camo. I got one of those. So if 2 people win, I don't know what to do. So I don't know. Maybe we can get a Razor shirt. Johnny's a very good sponsor, Razor Hunting Gear. They treat us so good that maybe we can get a Razor shirt out to somebody as well. And if more than 2 people win it, we'll do a drawing for the Razor shirt and the Joy hat. How's that sound to you guys? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick them. I will go through the cast one more time. We will start that at about 8 minutes into the live stream, and you guys have 5 minutes to get your picks in. So the minute I start reading casts, you guys start picking. It's harder than you think picking. I know we had one, I believe it was a pro sport hunt out at the Muddy, and I had to give away like 5 hats. But most of the time, nobody wins. And half the time, I forget to send their hat. And so you'll get it. You just got to keep reminding me. But yeah, we'll do a Joy hat and we'll do a Razor shirt. And remember, the sponsors are what drives this, along with you guys being members. That allows me to travel and do these and to bring you the Dog Life series and all that stuff that these sponsors do such a fantastic job of paying for. So remember, don't just thank them. Yeah, messages are great. But next time you need a vest or a light or something like that, go to Conkeys and get a Razor stuff. Next time you go into buy a bag of dog food, don't buy Canadian. Buy American. Buy Joy. Next time you need any kind of dog nutrition stuff, get a hold of Elite Nutrition. You guys don't understand how important that is for the economics of what we do, not just here at this channel, but as coon hunters as a whole. Because you think about that, and everything that funds these hunts is through you guys working really hard. And we want to keep all that money in our community, in the coon hunting community, because that's who gives back. You know, you look at Joy giving back to Youth Nationals, you look at Razor and all the things that they sponsor, Conkeys Outdoors Elites, but all the others too. There's a lot of other companies that aren't necessarily sponsoring us, but they give a lot back to youth hunts and stuff like that. So, all right. We're almost at the 8-minute mark on the live stream. We're going to read through these casts one more time. You guys make your predictions. Remember the casts, put them all in one line, and then they are easy for me to find when you guys let me know that you won. All right. So I'm going to read cast 1. All you guys got to do is type your winner in cast 1. Wait until I read cast 2. Type your winner in cast 2, cast 3, cast 4, and then hit send. And then they're all in a line. They're easy for me to go through and double check. Not that I don't think anybody's on us, but every now and then somebody makes a mistake. So, all right, cast 1. That is Kyle Short with Rock, Adam McGuire with Ruby, Scott Engel with Jack, and Bobby Burden with 9. That is cast 1. Cast 2, Dustin Weed with Lefty, Adam Carlson with Dude, or Alan Carlson with Dude, Justin Davenport with Axel, and Dual Murphy and Fame. Cast 3 is John Strickland with Willie's Little Ann, Jeff Stollard with Hooker, Roy D, Tracy Thompson, and Stranger Skylar Osborne. Cast 4, that is Michael Ward and Cap, Chad Spradlin with Trigger, Gerald Keegan with Lenny, and Trip Duke, Ronnie Rowe, and Bolt. So let's see what you guys got. Jordan Mullins got Ruby, Lefty, Ann, and Cap. That's a good pick. Engel, Murphy, Strickland, Ward. You can't go wrong with those 4 handlers. Keep them coming. I'm going to give you guys till about 12 minutes. 9, Lefty, Hooker, Cap, Jack, Lefty, and Trigger. Good picks. Good picks. Good picks. 9, Lefty, and Trigger. Those are favorites. Fame's right here where he kind of his home territory. Jack, Fame, Dude, Trigger, Barry Jones says. Jack, Fame, and Trigger. Everybody liking Trigger. Trigger, 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 Trigger. Jack, Lefty, Ann, and Cap. 9, Lefty, Ann, and Cap. Good picks. Good picks. Got about a minute and a half. Ruby, Fame. A lot of people liking Hood or liking Trigger. And who wouldn't? Coming off a national championship. Quality dog. Good handler, good owner behind him. A lot of guys like Cap's got a tough. A lot of guys liking Cap too. He's got a tough row to hoe. Good cast. Trigger in there. Jim Curtis says 9 Jack, Trigger, and Lefty. Got Dustin Weed behind Lefty. That makes a difference. But I'll tell you what, one thing about Lefty, takes a lot of handling out of him. Low end strike dog to absolutely no strike dog sometimes. Over there by himself with a Coon. Nine, Fame, Roy D, and Trigger. That's a fact, Logan Brew. Don't count out Roy D. He really looked good getting in last night. 675 or 625 that dog had. So yeah, definitely don't keep your eye on that dog. Or definitely keep your eye on that dog and Tracy. A little home cooking there. All right. That's it. Picture over. I'm going to go. I'm kind of agreeing with Logan on Roy D. And I'm probably going to go with Jack or with Cap. Probably Fame. And I've kind of got a little bit of advantage here. I'm going to go with Rock and Kyle Short. You guys are going to find out why here in a little bit. It's got to be named after the old Roy D. Mercer stuff. You remember that? Yeah, by God. By God, Roy D. Mercer. Ward's hard to beat in a truck hunt. Cap's hard to beat in thick coons. I don't know how old Rock is. I don't even know what Rocket is, to be honest. How big old boy are you? That's right, Alan Smith. Maybe that's what he's named after. Maybe not. I may just be talking out my butt there. How big old boy are you now? I don't do a very good Roy D. Mercer. I do a good Finley. I do a very good Finley impression. That's about the only good impression I got. But I can't do it without swearing. And so I won't do it here. But I've cracked a lot of clubhouses up with my Finley impression. Not gonna lie. I think it's pretty good. All right. Thanks for the picks. Picks look good. I am going to give you the cast update on cast 1. And this is why I picked Rock. Out of the truck, Jack struck for 100, 975. Rock for 50, Ruby for 25. We have Jack treed almost immediately for 125 and minus 125. He was retreed shortly after for 125. They have got to him. They have scored him. He is circled. So right now, Jack's setting at 0. He is recut. He's going to go back in for 25 strike. He's setting a 125 minus and 225 circle. He's going to go back in for 125 strike, which wouldn't be a death sentence. And it's still not a death sentence, but it's going to be a pretty tough row to hoe. And then you have Rock treed for 125 and Ruby treed for 125, I believe. It just says rock treed and ruby treed. So rock was plus. That puts rock at 175 plus. With ruby with 150 pending, 9 still carrying that 75 strike. Brad, I can't do a Finley impression without swearing. It's just not the same. And they're pretty bad swear words. And this is a family-friendly, child-friendly broadcast. We're going to try to keep it PG-13 at least. Not PG, but PG-13. But if you guys ever see me in person, just I'll give it to you. I'll give you the Finley impression. So that, as of right now, that is the only updates I have. There it is, Alan. Are you freaking kidding me? But he don't say freaking. If I get real wound up, you get a couple bourbons down me, you can't even tell. If you look the other way, you couldn't tell the difference between me and Finley. That's how you know I've been around him too much. Yeah, that's about the only good one I got. He says it a lot. So yeah, that's what we have. I'm going to stay on here for just a little bit longer. I'll keep you guys updated on Cast 1 best I can, but that's the only thing that I'm getting in right now. If I get any other updates before this, of course, you guys will know. But some good matchups and a really, really good looking truck. I'm going to see if they got the pictures on the Pro Sport. I know Greg's even having a hard time loading stuff up to Pro Sport. But, oh yeah, he's got the cast pictures on there. Just did 20 minutes ago. Yeah, take a look at that truck. If you guys get a chance, go to Pro Sport's Facebook page. He's got the cast matchup or the cast pictures on there, or the individual pictures on there. It's a really nice truck. Blacked out Chevy S10 or Chevy Colorado. I'm sorry, Chevy Colorado Trail Boss. And it was parked in front of the clubhouse all day today with the keys in it, with nobody there. I stopped and added the Joy dog food to the back seat of it today about noon. It takes me about 11 hours, Mr. Stevens. I am getting closer to Canada. Mosquitoes are too bad up here. They're bad at home too. They're even worse up here. But it's not. I mean, it's right on the Indiana border, so I'm still 4 hours away from our family's place. They're in Pelston. I'm still 4 hours south of it. They're not Upers, but they're close. I'm thinking about it, Logan, because I'm wanting to cover Michigan Madness. I've never been there, and I think I'd like to hunt in it too. Hazel's tailor-made for that area, but here not lately. She hasn't been. She's been trailing too much. More accurate, but trailing too much, and even more independent. It used to be if a dog really got out of the truck and jammed one on Hazel, she'd tree with them and wouldn't be jealous about it. But as she's gotten older, she won't tree with nothing. Let's see, Jace has put her in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 casts. And she's either been first or alone on every tree she's made. Does that say 25 hours east? Or 2.5 hours east? 25 hours east is like ocean. Yeah, I don't want to hunt in the summer in Texas, Alan. 25, gee whiz. Where do you live? Greenland? Iceland? Reykjavik? Oh, All right. We had Ruby with 150 pending. She is taking a minus. So I'm going to see if that is strike and tree both or just tree. My prediction is Rock better tree another coon before 9 gets treed. 9 gets treed the way the times. Oh, Nova Scotia. What's the coon hunting like in Nova Scotia? I'm sorry for making fun of Canadian dog food earlier. I knew he's from Canada. I did not know he was that far east. I assumed you were just north of the border, not very far. And speaking of that, tree 9 for 125. That means he has 200 pending. That puts Bobby in a really good spot if he's got this coon. Worst you've seen. So what keeps you in Nova Scotia? I assume family. I cuss Missouri winners. I'd hate to see a Nova Scotia winner. And yes, Kyle, I expect it would be cold. Scared of snakes. Well, you could come to Missouri, Donnie, because we don't have any poisonous snakes where I live. Not a one. I've been there 44 years. Never seen a poisonous snake that I didn't actually go try to find. There is a place south of my house that if you really, really look hard and you're tipping over rocks and you're really trying to find them, you can find some timber rattlers. But they're pretty mild. You got to really pester them to get bit. But we used to catch them and thought we were cool when we were teenagers and a little older. I think I quit trying to catch timber rattlers down by the rock quarry when I was about 22 or 23. But I did land on a poisonous snake the other day down in Kentucky trying to get hazel. And I screamed like a little girl. And I'm not even scared of snakes. And I don't know, it was some kind of Corps engineers structure thing that she was in down there. And it was a swamp. And the hunt's over. I leave Jace at the truck. He's made it back to the truck. Hazel's still running. So I text him. I said, just come back to the truck. I'll get my boots on and I'll go get her. And so he gets back to the truck. We drive her around. She's not very far, 400 or 500 yards, and she usually handles pretty good. Normally I holler her name. She's right at my feet. So I holler, nothing. She's going back and forth, thinking, what on earth is going on with this dog? And I get in there, and I don't know if any of you guys have me on Snapchat. I put it on my Snapchat. But she was behind this 8 foot, probably 8 foot tall fence, chain link. And I'm talking, this thing is in the middle of the woods. I mean, middle of the woods. And she can't get across it. I don't know how she got in it. I walked probably 75, 80 yards both ways in the swamp trying to find a place to get across it. And I finally found where a tree had fell over it and made it about 4.5 foot tall. So I climb over, get Hazel, throw her over. And remember, this is probably just barely about knee deep water. And I throw Hazel over and she kind of eases off. I don't have to have a leash or nothing for her. And I climb over that fence and I jump and I land right on a cottonmouth. I'm talking left foot right on top of it underneath the water. And so I see myself push this snake down when I hit the ground. And I could have jumped. I could have cleared that 8 foot fence as high as I jumped. Didn't get bit. Hazel didn't get bit, thankfully, but I made my way out of that swamp very quickly. It did scare the freaking bitch. It probably scared the snake worse than it did me. Here's this 200-pound dude falling from the sky and size 11 boot landed on him. So he probably took the brunt of it, but no longer. I had no more than hit the ground. I looked like Jesus. I was walking on water. So yeah, you'll run into some snakes on your travels every now and then. Kyle Fenton, what's the two movements you make when you see a snake? David Nichols Jr., Southern California. How do you get into comp hunts in SoCal? I've been to Southern California when I was very little. Northern California is beautiful. But are there a lot of coons in SoCal? And are there any hunts? So I know they used to have some hunts in Wyoming. Physical movement and a bowel movement. I've got some buddies like that. They're about the same way. My kids aren't scared of snakes. I'm not scared of snakes. We're always catching them and handling them, especially my daughter. But I got to tell them when we go down to Louisiana and Texas, don't be grabbing any snakes. That's good. I'm glad to see you got, two people watching this, one from Nova Scotia, Canada, and one from Southern California. So that is pretty cool. I do check our analytics on the channel for both the podcast and for this. And it's amazing where some people listen from and watch from. That's cool. I really like it. All right. Rock has been struck. They're in cast one. They have 9 to score. He's got 200 pending. But a coon right here puts Rock in the lead by a quarter, or puts 9 in the lead by a quarter. And he's going to get cut loose. And if Rock is not treed, Rock really needed to get treed before 9, I think. Which that cast still early. They've been at it 31 minutes. They still got an hour and a half left to go in that cast. But I know Jack's still in there, but he's got a long row to hoe. So does Ruby. If 9 has this coon, they're going to need the strike to open back up at some point. And it might. It very well could. But odds are it probably won't, especially with no leash lock. That's the one thing about the leash lock rule in PKC that, you can get the strike to open back up every now and then. Very rarely does it open up in pro sport. Very rarely. So you got a good strike dog. You want it to open back up, but the odds of that happening are not very good. All right. Plus 9. That puts 9 at 200. Rock at 175. Ruby at 150 minus. And Jack 125 minus. There's Mike and Eric Bino. How are you guys? I'm going to talk like there's 2 of you, even though I'm guessing it's just Mike. But it says Mike and Eric Bino, so I'm gonna talk to you like you're both there. And then we'll just add to the viewership. So David Nichols Jr., there's no coons. Like, just to go hunting, you have to travel how far? Just to go hunt a coon. This has got me curious. This has piqued my interest there in the Southern California coon hunting circuit. I tallied up. My stepdad was talking here a few days ago, and he goes, "How many states have you hunted in?" And I'm at 26. 2 or 3 hours just to hunt. That's crazy. I get mad if I can't hunt the farm across the road from my house. No, I'm not too tired. I had a pretty easy day today. I did a little editing, and then went and got the dog food for the hunt because Joy donates bags of dog food to every pro sport hunt. So I went and got that for Joy, for Wade, and then got me a little nap in because I won't be tired till tomorrow. Stacy just texted me and told me not to drive after the late round, even though she knows I will. And so what I'll do is I'll hunt that late round. I'll get in the truck and I'll start wheeling it home. Sometimes I can make it without pulling over, but not very often. But I may be able to this time. I get enough coffee down me. Had a good 2-hour nap this afternoon. I should be good to go. That just means you guys really want to coon hunt, Donnie and David, which is awesome. I've hunted in a lot of places where I think, if I lived here, I probably wouldn't do this. But then sometimes I seek out hard hunting. I get bored with the easy stuff at the house, and I'll go down to the Ozarks, or I'll go somewhere where there's some hills where it's harder on me and the dog, just to make sure I still can. It's an adventure every time. How far do I have to drive? I don't. I can cut loose from my yard if I want to. I have to walk about 60 yards from my kennels, and I can turn loose. The farthest farm I hunt consistently is 3 or 4 miles from the house. I got 3 public places, 4. I got several, 4 or 5 different public ground places within an hour of my house, and I never hunt any of them. None of the public ground in Missouri, north of I-70, gets coon hunted very much, because there is so much private ground. We don't have any trouble getting private ground. David Nichols Jr., I've seen you retracted that, but I seen it before you said Wales. Yeah, a good dog's a good dog no matter where you're putting it. One of the things, Jack has been treed, by the way. Jack's trying to climb out of that hole. He has been treed for 25 and 125. There's a little water. It's not bad. It's been pretty dry here, they say. But, it's flat. Creeks all seem full that I've drove across. It's not even rolling farm ground. It's just flat. Northern Indiana, southern Michigan. You don't see a whole lot of hills. Yeah. Hikey, I do drive to them every now and then just to get some good exercise. I like the Mark Twain in the National Forest south of my house because it's just so big. And it's, you feel like, it's new terrain everywhere you go. I think it's something like 800,000 acres or something like that. And you can get in some really good hunts in there. I know me and Noe, we treed like 7 one night before midnight and didn't have to go up and down hardly at all. But I learned to hunt them a little better as I've hunted them more. But I don't like snow. And when it snows at our house, I can literally, it's like I-70 is the end of the snow. If I get south of I-70 when we have snow, they very rarely have any. And so I hate hunting in the snow. Our coons don't move that great in the snow anyway, unless it stays on forever. If you get snow that stays on all winter, you can tree some coons in it. But the snows that come and go, they don't move around in it very good. But yeah, Donnie mentioned that everything comes from there looks better everywhere else. We have a ton of coon. It's thick in places, especially this time of year, but not bad. I mean, it's not terrible. And we have really good coon hunting. And for as far as just 12 months out of the year, our hunting is pretty good. And we get all them guys that are trying to sell a dog or something like that, and they'll say the first red flag I see is when they say it'll look good in your country. Oh yeah, here's the thing. If a dog can't run a track in Alabama, it can't run a track in Missouri either. If a dog trees too much in Ohio, it's going to tree too much in wherever. So they, I don't like buying where they say they'll look good in your country. If a dog ain't got no talent, ain't got no talent. Coon track's a coon track from Southern California to Nova Scotia. Yeah, I like the Buck Creek line. I'm a big fan of the Buck Creek line. You can't knock anything the Lone Pine Dogs have done here lately either. A lot of good Lone Pine Dogs out there. Randy's doing a good job with them. You know, you think of Buck Creek, you think of the Dunlaps, and what the only hole I don't like about them is usually their mouth. They usually got a real common mouth, but as far as coon treers, they're hard to beat. They are good ones, and they start quick and early. They're smart and they're accurate for the most part. I mean, there's duds and everything. The ones I've hunted with they're quick, they're accurate. All they lack is mouth. 9 has been struck back in for 25. Nothing from Rock. He is struck with a line, which it's not a line anymore because he was not at Jack's tree, I assume. Or 9's tree, I mean. That's already been plussed. But Jack does have 150 pending. No, I'm not a Chiefs fan. I hate sports. I like MMA. Did anybody watch that fight today between Robert Whitaker and Alaskarov? I thought that might actually be a good fight, but Bobby Knuckles put an end to that argument pretty quick. That is literally coon hunting and mixed martial arts are literally the only two sports I'm interested in. I used to love baseball, and I used to love football. I used to watch every Michigan game. Loved it when Tom Brady won all the time, but then it was a commercial every 2 minutes. They won't let you hit anybody. People are paying. You'll go to Mike and Erica. You'll go to a Colts game, and you'll pay $17 for a beer, and you'll pay to do this and pay to do that, and then these millionaires play for billionaires. So I just never did. As I got older, the more distasteful it became to me. And I'm not knocking anybody that likes sports. Most of my friends and a lot of coon hunters do. But yeah, no, I like the only sport I watch is mixed martial arts and combat sports. Yeah, Johnny Walker, he's one of my favorite guys too. He's so funny, and he's such a specimen. He's so big for that weight class. That is a monster of a man. But he's got no chin anymore, and I don't know about him. That's some brutal knockouts. Yeah, he is. Big, quick, athletic. His brother's pretty good too. I can't remember his brother's name, but he's pretty good too. He just broke into the UFC not too long ago. So yeah, that sucks. I always root for Johnny Walker. But he got cold smoked in that. It was not pretty. I'm not a Conor McGregor. I mean, I like that Conor McGregor became so successful. I actually, fingers crossed, I may get to go, and Khabib may not know this. I'm guessing he don't. But my mom called me the other day, and her and Hoist Gracie are friends. They've done a movie together, something like that. People are going to think I'm like loaded when I start talking about some of this stuff, even though I don't have any money and nobody believes me. But her and Hoist Gracie done a movie together, so they talk. I've got Hoist Gracie autograph stuffs and everything. But they are going to go eat supper with Khabib down in Dallas. That's where my mom done a lot of her work at. And Hoist asked if she'd like to come down and join them and meet Khabib. And I have a lot of respect for Khabib because of how he conducts himself. You know, he doesn't run around drinking and partying and cheating on his wife and all that stuff. And a lot of that is his religion, I know, but I'm kind of a fan of that stuff. I'm also a fan when people ball out too. So, do I remember Bell Creek Blue Buck? I do not. We're getting. I could talk MMA or bourbon. I could talk MMA or bourbon all day. So you're gonna have to keep me on track here with the coon dog stuff. No, I do not remember Bell Creek Blue Buck. Jerry, you're going to have to expand on that. No, I don't have any score on the Boltcast either, Dennis Bird. I'm sorry. The only person texting me, and I don't even know who it is Cast One. Yeah, Jim, I think I am going to try to go up there and help the kids with and cover that. Colt has called me. Cole Leitner has sent me the date. I'm going to have to double check it. He called me, so of course I remembered. I'm going to have to double check with Cole. But yeah, I'm going to try to go up there, I think. I think that's the same one. It may be the youth state with PKC one too. I don't know. So yeah, undecided. The schedule in July is going to be a little tricky. Well, good, Jim. I hope you are there. Maybe I can sit down and get you on the podcast. I think that would be great. I think Jim Curtis' podcast would be a good one. Yeah, maybe I'll be up there. I don't know yet. Where is Dowd? I'm not even sure where that's at in Iowa. Is it the southern half or northern half? All right, guys, what we're going to probably do is we're going to let this live stream run down to about another 18 minutes. It'll make it an even 1 hour. It's in the south. I'll have to look it up. I like south. It's not near as far as for me to drive. It is. Oh, yeah, it's down below Cedar Rapids. Down by Milton. That ain't very far from me. Yeah, just north of Milton. I hunt out of Milton quite a bit. So, yeah, that ain't too far. Probably 2 hours from my house, maybe. I guess I can check real quick. Hour and 49 minutes. Hop, skip, and a jump, considering what I'm used to. Not very far at all. I'll try to make that trip. Depending on what's up, what else is going on that week. So we shall see. Nothing new coming in from Cast One. I'll go through them scores again real quick. We have Rock at 150 plus. 9 at 200 plus. Rock at 150, 175 plus. Jack is at 125 minus with 150 pending. And Ruby is at 150 minus. Kyle, I'm going to just go out on a limb and say it's probably going to be close to 2 a.m. Eastern. Because they do not get in a big hurry. Everybody gets to the clubhouse, they talk about it, they get another bite to eat, they hang out for a while, and then they go out. So I'm guessing it'll be 2 a.m. Eastern, 1 Central. That would be just a ballpark guess. And fingers crossed that they got service where we're going. Tracy says they do. So hopefully we're good. That's the only thing that I hate about the truck hunts is that the late round starts so late. But we still get good viewership on them during the live stream. We'll have 300 or 400 or 500 people watching them sometimes, even in the late round, which is impressive. And then the next day it blows up. Everybody sits down and watches it when they wake up. 9 was plussed. That puts 9 above the board. He's at 25 plus. Back in this thing. Now he's only 2 coons down. 2 coons away from catching Bobby. Never know. Never know. So now we got 9 at 200 plus with Bobby Burden. Rock at 175 plus with Kyle Short. And Jack at 25 plus Ruby's still sitting at that 150 minus. So yeah, and that cast it's about the halfway point. Still a lot of time left. They've scored 1, 2, 3 coons. Ruby had a slick. She was minus both ways. At least I assume that's what it was. Could have been something else. She could have left the tree and came back to cast or something, I suppose. One thing about it is quiet in here. This cobbled up mess of a booth we got. And this very uncomfortable John Deere looking chair. Nine has been treed again for 125. That would knock a coon there would pretty much end it for Jack and Ruby, I think. Unless something crazy happens. 9 has another coon here. Rock's really his only competition the rest of the way. Coon here would put Jack. Quick math. Yeah, 4 coons down. It would put Ruby 5 coons down. In these hunts, I don't know. I remember Bill one year scored 800 in a late round. Back when trees were still 100. And that was in a late round, late into, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the World Hunt one year. It may have been the year he won the World Hunt. Yeah. Even up here in pro sport, even with the 125 rule, which I think is stupid. It's a dumb rule change. Both pro sport and PKC both did it. I think 775 is the highest I've seen that I can remember. You just get, you spend, these dogs are so far apart. If something covered, you get some dogs on the same trees and stuff, you're going to have a higher score. You don't spend all night walking. You don't have dogs setting trees, a long time before you can get to them. And so, yeah, you're not going to have high scores at hunts like this very often. You get in some of them zoos in a UKC hunt with some dogs that'll back, or a small PKC hunt with dogs that'll back. You'll have some higher scores. Otherwise, you just spend too much time going to split trees. You're not scoring. Every second you're walking, you're not scoring. And these, I think I average right at 4.5 to 5 miles every pro sport hunt. Maybe different up here, but I've hunted them in some pretty thick coon areas, and you're going to walk. It's 2 hours of pretty much walking. I think me and Jake Moore, or no, me and Cole Perryman, Michael Ward, and Levi did like 9 miles one night in a cast. I was hunting rain. And then that was in the early round. I think we did another 6 in the late round. That was me and Jake Moore in duel. And I can't remember who the 4th dog was. Donnie's already trying to get his picks changed. Did anybody pick? I know people picked 9. I think I'm the only one that took Rock. I may not have been. I'd have to scroll back up through there and see. Let's see. I'm going through the picks. Which I don't count because I picked after I rocketed treated Coon and Jack and took his minus. But no, I don't think anybody took Rock besides me. So if Rock wins it, nobody gets free anything. Well, nothing against Maynard and Levi, but I pray that nothing they're ever on requires being naked. Ain't nobody wants to see that. I got turned around at Youth Nationals too. I walked out to the wrong road. Luckily, someone come pick me up. As soon as that cast was over, I had kids at the hotel that I wanted to make sure it was okay, so I busted out of there. There's still a bunch of dogs to gather and stuff, and I got a little turned around. I didn't have no tracking system with me or nothing. I was just winging it. Got close, got within a mile of the truck. I got picked up. Jack has been restruck. He's back in for 25. He's got a long road to hoe. Still a lot of time left for Engel, though. An hour and 14 minutes left. And we've got about 8.5 minutes left to go on this broadcast. So you guys got anything else for me? Let me know. As soon as this is over, I will tear down and get back to the clubhouse, get my boots on, get my lights on. I've got my camera light charging right now. I'm hoping it's charged up enough to go through the whole hunt. If not, I'll have to use my headlamp, which I don't like to do. It doesn't make the production value as good. Them two wake up lost. I'd probably go to bed lost too most of the time. It's easy to get lost anymore. These Garmins and Dogtras, all that stuff have really took a lot of our natural ability to find our way back out away. Now, I've always had trouble anywhere there's edges, or not edges. You turn me loose in the great big flatwoods, I don't know what direction I'm in or nothing. So I guess I'd have to, back in the old days, you had to pack a compass around with you. Remember the little ball compasses that you put right there on your shirt? We didn't have vests back then either. I would buy one of them at every hunt when I was young. I'd save all my money to buy another stupid compass. I don't know why I was infatuated with those. All right, Mike, I appreciate you being here, buddy. Get some sleep. Check that late round out whenever you wake up. All right. 9. Plus him up. Plus him up. That puts 9 at 350. He's got 350. Yeah, John, they turn me around all the time. It's not too bad if you're hunting down along the river, the Mississippi or the Missouri or something like that, because you can always tell which way the river is, the barge traffic. So it's easy down there. Anywhere else, I don't know what direction's what. There's times I've left my buggy at home, and I'll say I'll get within 100 yards of a tree, and it's in a big woods or something like that. I'll make sure I know, which I don't have to walk very far from home before I figure out where I'm at. But every time I'm walking into that tree, I focus on the side I walk in from and make sure I know what side of that tree I came in on. You can always go back out that opposite side and get pretty close. But like say when I drive my little buggy or my four-wheeler, those things are easy to lose when you drive them in the woods. I've been 20 yards from it and walk right by it. And so, yeah, it's always a good idea to carry your tracker with you and not forget it on the buggy when you're in thick stuff. I lost my four-wheeler one night for like an hour. I could not find it. I'd parked it in a cane field and could not find that thing. Jack has heard from again. He is treed for 125. Still in it. So that would put Jack at 175. Still 2 coons down if he has this one. But plenty of time to treat 2 coons. They're in a good cast. They're in a shootout here. Rock's still struck, but he's not been treated since. So, yeah, Kyle's got work to do, too. He's 2 coons down. I assume Ruby's done. That would put her like 7 coons down or something crazy. 5 coons down is a bunch. Not that she couldn't tree 5 coons in 45 minutes. She probably can, especially up here, but try to do it without another dog scoring a point or having to walk to one of their trees is the problem. That's another thing. People that haven't been in these or walked around in these and stuff think, well, how can you only tree 3 or 4 coons in 2 hours, with 4 of the supposedly the best dogs on the planet? Well, it's harder than it looks. You're not just cutting one dog and walking as soon as he gets treed and staying right behind him and recutting him again. You got to wait for the tree to click down. You got to go score other trees. Hold on a second. I got an update coming in from Cap's Cast. So we have Cap, Bolt, Lenny, and Trigger. I believe that was cast 4. Cap, he is struck for 100 out of the truck. Bolt 75, Lenny 50, Trigger 25, and then Bolt is treed for 125 and Lenny for 75. Trigger is treed for 125. So surely they did not just turn loose. I assume it's been a while. It's almost 10:30 out here. So I think that was probably just a mid-hunt update. I'll see how much time's left. They are headed to Bolt now. Probably not a lot of time gone, considering this is the first tree they're walking to. They probably didn't have any service and all the messages come through at once, would be my guess. We'll see. Don't know who the judge is on. I assume Maynard's judging cast. I don't know who the other 3 were. Yep. They got 14 minutes gone in that cast. So they just turned loose at 10:10. Said service sucks there. We might hang out just a little longer. What do you guys think? At least until they get this tree of bolts scored. So, all right. I think that's cast 4. Let me look. Yes, that is cast 4. So Cap struck for 100. Bolt 75. Lenny 50. Trigger 25. Bolt treed for 125. Lenny for 75. And Trigger treed by himself for 125. 2 hours, Kyle. 2-hour cast. So yeah, that gives Bolt 200 pending, Lenny 125 pending, and Trigger 150 pending. And here comes Jack. Plus him up again. That puts him at 150. Or no, 175, I believe. He has 300 and 125 minus, so yeah, 175. Gets him 2 coons down from 9 with plenty of time. They've got 56 minutes left to go in that cast. All right, we are at the hour. I'm going to stay on here just a little longer for you guys. What I'll do, take a quick break. I got to run out to my truck real quick. We'll take, let's take 10. You bet, Brad. You guys take a break. Get you something to eat or drink. Get you some popcorn. We'll try to stretch this out for another half hour. Maybe we can at least get the finish of cast 1 before I got to get all this stuff tore down. So we'll take 10. We'll be back. Right in 8 to 10 minutes or so. We'll see you guys in a little bit. You're going to have to look at this ugly freaking chair for a while. But other than that, I'll be back as soon as I can. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I think that's a crossbred dog, Donnie. Me and Samuel, we're going to talk about that on the podcast, I think. Try to get him on there whenever we come back. He was in the hayfield last week, and I got busy towards the end of the week, so we couldn't make it happen. But we'll get the scoop on that dog. I thought he might be here. So, yeah, I'll get Samuel to sit down and talk about it 20, 30 minutes. Samuel has been on the podcast before, but it was right after he won the Squirrel Dog World Championship. One of them. Squirrel hunts as well. He's in the top 10 handlers in the EHS in the Squirrel Dog division, which is coming. We tried to make it happen before the leaves got on this year and just got too busy. But we are going to prioritize that a little more this fall, winter, spring. All right. In cast one, not much else since Jack was plussed up. We do have 9 struck back in for 25, as well as Ruby treed for 125. Ruby trying to climb her way back in this thing. We have in cast 4 Captain America put on the card for 125. So that gives him 225 pending, Bolt 200 pending, Lenny 125 pending, and Trigger 150 pending. If this were a PKC hunt, they'd all be leash locked. Which I've been an outspoken opponent to the leash lock rule forever. I did not put an option for that in the Elite Handler Series at all. But I do not want all 3 of these major organizations' rules mirroring each other. I don't think that's good for anybody. I think everybody needs options. I think that gives a wider range for someone starting out or someone who has been at it a while and can pick a certain rule set that they like instead of hunting under the same rules in different organizations all the time. I wish they'd change the tree back to 100. That's the only rule I think they all ought to have. PKC's 125 rule I understand because of their countdown. Their countdown's a lot different than PKC or Pro Sport. And it's been 125 forever. So I'd say leave PKC or leave UKC at 125. Move PKC and Pro Sport back to 100. I know it's never going to happen, but a guy can dream. It literally does not affect the winner. I've been in a lot of casts since it changed, and I don't see any casts, and I've looked at a lot of scorecards. I never really seen anything where the winner would have changed because the tree was 25 points more. Does make the scores look better. That's about it. Makes my head hurt from doing the math. And that's about it. I hate judging. I'm still saying 100 every time somebody trees. Which I don't judge much anymore. I had to judge a few casts since they changed it. Haven't been any. I've only been in. I was in 2 Nationals casts, I guess. I think those are the only 2 casts I've been in since they changed it. As far as I know. That I can remember anyway. I did not hunt the Lone Star this year. Did not hunt the Bear Creek. If you want to hunt in the hunts, this is not the job to have. That's okay. Jace does it for me now. As the kids get older, I'm hoping they keep continuing to like it, and then they can take over the handling duties for Dad. I'll just get them ready. They can put them on the card and get the glory, and that is perfectly okay with me. All right, we're going to keep this going for about another 15 minutes, see if we can get any other updates for you, and then that is going to be time to start rolling up. But I'm guessing it'll probably be close to 2 a.m. Eastern time before we get out for the finals. See who wins that new truck. It is quite a truck, too. Good job on Pro Sport to let them hunt for something like that. It's pretty cool. I haven't got anything for a while, ever since Ruby got treed and Cap got treed. You guys are going to have to, it's that time. You guys are going to have to give me something to talk about. No, never heard of Atlantic time. I don't do East. I'd have to travel all the way around the world going west before I like going very far east. Man, you cross that Mississippi River and I just do not. There's some places, don't get me wrong, there's some places. But it is the eastern half of the United States. There ain't very many places that I like. Plus Ruby. So that puts her even with the board. Long row to hoe to climb out of the hole she's in. You've got 9 at 350, Jack at 175, and Rock at 150. All right. In cast 4. Go ahead and circle Bolt. Delete Lenny. I don't know why. Lenny was in for 50 and 75. Minus Trigger, 125. Bad break there for Trigger. I know a lot of folks pick Trigger. Charles, that's a very good question. I've always fed them after I hunt. I always fed them after I hunt. I heard years ago the best way to get it. I like to hunt a dog on an empty stomach just because I think that's how canines have hunted all through their canine existence. But also it keeps them from heating up. Like when I work out on an empty stomach too. I don't like, if I did feed them before I hunted, I'd want to do it in the morning. The only time I do is every now and then I'll get a pup that is excited. When you first start hunting young dogs by themselves, they'll hunt a little bit. They'll come back to the truck. They'll stand by your feet. They'll do things that stupid pups do. And my training method has always been to take them home. Look, if you don't want to go hunting, you go back home. And the last thing I want at home, especially for a pup that loves to eat, is, I get to stand out there by dad for 20 minutes and then I come home and I get a big meal. So every now and then, if I've got a young dog, I'll feed it early in the morning as soon as I wake up. And then say I turn it loose. Angel was bad about this because she was a hard hunting dog, but sometimes she would come back to the truck. And she wasn't quite old enough to give her any stimulation to fix it. And so I would just throw her in the truck, take her home. You don't want to hunt, don't hunt. But you're not going to get to do anything else fun the rest of that night. You're just going home. And I noticed, especially with her, she would just be so excited to go in there and eat. And I'm like, I'm going to take that away too. So that way, when you come back to me and you're tired, you're not tired and you're still fresh, you're just going to go sit in the kennel. I'll load another dog up and hunt in. And a lot of times when I do that, when I first start a pup out, I don't like to have another dog in a box. But as they get older, that's the easiest way to fix it. They come back to the truck, they come back to you, time right up to where they come back to you, whether it's at the truck or in the woods. Go get your old dog, let them see that dog go, and then put them in the box. I've always found frustration is a better training method than physical correction. There's a place for both. Don't get me wrong. Place for both. But I like to frustrate them. And so that is the one instance where I do feed in the morning, but I try to make sure they're empty. If I do feed before I hunt, it's first thing, as soon as I wake up. We're doing a series on certain stuff too on this channel. We're doing a product review type series, and dog food is going to be one of them. Of course, everybody knows what I feed, but right now I feed one formula to 4 different dogs with 4 different metabolisms that are hunting completely different and doing different things and are different ages. So I think that's a pretty good thing to highlight right there, because that don't happen very often. Normally you got to have 2 kinds of feed. You got puppies, you got old dogs, you got dogs with high metabolism, dog with low metabolism. I've always kept 2 or 3 different kinds of feed at the house, but here for the last, I don't know, quite a while, it's been one dog food. So yes, Kurt does have a really nice place to let his dogs run loose. That pen is really nice. Very nice. My old house was better than my new one as far as running loose, because it was just all woods around it. So they could go 75 yards from the house and be around squirrels and coons and deer and everything. This house here, they got to travel a little ways, which may be even better. I still let them run loose quite a bit, but I'm not a big fan of unsupervised pups running loose all the time. Yes, I want them to run loose. I want them to get used to doing certain things, but I do not want to leave them unsupervised for long periods of time. I know guys that will just let them run loose for 8 months and then pin them up and go to doing something. I'm not a big fan of that. It works for some, doesn't work for me. I was talking to Wade the other night, actually, a pup I'd raised, treated Coon by himself, done a good job, and that is the 11th in a row. 11th puppy that I've raised from birth to hunting age that is treat coons alone. And so it's working. I'm not going to change it. Have they all been great big winners? No, but they've all been serviceable coon dogs. Hey, I got a picture of a card here. Let's see what we got. This is Lefty. Dude. Axel. And Fame. If anybody picked Axel, sorry about your luck. He is withdrawn. Lefty is 75 and 125 plus 25 and 125 circled. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a 25. I say Lefty don't strike for 75 out of the truck. Lefty has treed a coon and a circle. He's got 150 pending, and so he is at 150 plus with 150 circle. Dude is at 200, 350 plus with 150 pending. And Fame is at 100 plus, 250 plus, 400 plus, and he's struck for 25. So Fame is leading that cast right now with 400. You've got Dude at, I believe I said 350, and Lefty at 150 with 150 pending. So they are in a shootout there. That is a shootout. They've treed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coons, and there are 50 minutes left in that cast. Cast just over halfway. So yeah, they're treating the fire out of them there in that cast. Good deal. Ruby is struck and treat again. Trying to get back into this thing. 25 and 125 for Ruby. Adam McGuire trying to climb his way back in it. They have about 33 minutes left to go in that cast. She's got a lot of work to do. Nine is struck. Jack, I don't believe, is struck after his last coon, and Rock is struck as well. Rock treed that coon out of the truck, and we ain't heard nothing out of him since. So, all right, guys, we got about 5.5 minutes left, and I have got to wrap this up, get everything charged up, ready to go for that late round. Is there anything else that you guys need from me? Want to ask? Suggestions? I'll even take some criticism. I'm used to that. Whatever you got, let me know. Oh, good question, Mr. Jackson. I think Josie. Yeah, I'm biased, but I really like what Josie's throwing. Mouth and looks are really important to me, even though I know it doesn't make a difference a lot of times. Josie's throwing good mouths. He's throwing good looking pups. They're real athletic. Jeremy doesn't own him anymore, so I can't say that I'm biased. But yeah, I think I'd get it. I'm trying to get Jed weaseled out of one of them Josie pups. Got Vo bred to him. We'll see. And when they're born, I may not want a pup. Who knows? Yeah, Donnie Stevens, I'll see you in a couple hours for sure. Hopefully by 2. Take some time to drive out and get all that stuff done. Get everybody to the clubhouse. Coon hunters are like herding cats. So we shall see. I can't speak for Josie. I've never hunted with him. Hunted with pups out of him. Never hunted with Josie. Yeah, Rock will probably reproduce. Rock's a really good dog. I like Rock. Billy likes it when I go film Rock too, because he always wins. Billy says I'm his good luck charm. We'll see. I think Billy's got another EHS hunt coming. All right, circle cap. That sucks. Tree trigger 125. He's trying to climb his way back from that 125 minus, and he's in good shape. Everybody else has got circled or minused or deleted. Bolt is also treed back in for 125 as well. But yeah, as far as Josie, I don't think Josie is a trailing type dog. He might be. I know Zach Reeves would be the man to talk to there. Cap has been recut. Everything is struck for 25, and he has not been struck yet, so won't be long. I bet Michael wanted that one. Everybody getting circled, him sitting there for 225. Of course, you want all of them, but that would have been a handy one to have, especially out of the truck. Takes a lot of pressure off of you for a while. Plus, Ruby up again. Here comes Ruby. So that puts her at 150 plus. And they got a long walk to trigger, they say, in cast 4. Don't worry about Lefty. He might just be just fine. He has a coon here. That'll put him at 300. He'll get recut into a couple dogs beating him, but he'll be back in the ball game. He'll just be one coon down. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. I'll do my best. Every time Stacy tells me to be safe, I say no promises. There's not much I do that's safe. All right, guys. I hate to cut you short, but we got a lot to do before we get ready for that late round. So really, appreciate all the kind words. As we leave, tree 9 for 125. You know, they only got about a half hour in that. Well, I ain't got time. I can't stay for the whole cast. Jim Curtis, Josh McCullough, thank you. Appreciate you guys too. Appreciate all the sponsors: Joy Dog Food, Razor Hunting Gear, Elite Nutrition, Conkeys Outdoors. They do so much for this channel and for coon hunting. So make sure and thank them by patronizing their business, of course. All of them have good products. You can't go wrong. You'll hear dog food this and dog food that. But guys, I've been in this sport for so long, from big show game calls to training for the public to being in hunts. And I've no reason to lie when I say that's a quality dog food. And so you hear all kinds of things on the interwebs about dog food. Trust me, you guys will be just fine if you enjoy dog food. Just fine patronizing Elite Nutrition and Razor and Conkeys. If I didn't believe in them, I wouldn't take the money for the channel, and I wouldn't have went to work for Joy when I did and all that stuff. So thank you guys very much. Very good turnout. I love the comments. Love everything. You guys, if you can stay awake, I'd appreciate it. But make sure and check out the late round tomorrow. If you guys have to get some sleep, I understand. The more views you get, the more it gets pushed out there, and guys will see what we're doing out there, and they'll understand it. And I'm not talking about just you guys that already know the sport and all that stuff, but we want to spread this thing around. We want to get our lifestyle and our the way we do things out to the public, just to let them know that we're not all out there murdering innocent raccoons, that it's about the dogs and it's about family and camaraderie, and it's an addiction and it's a lifestyle. So the more views we get, the more likes we get, the more comments we get. I know it's stupid. Sometimes I feel like one of them idiots that come in from the hayfield. I was just reading Sam Brown's comment, that come in on the TikTok dance. I don't want to beg for likes, but that is what pushes our sport out. All right, Sam, I'll give you one quick rundown before I shut this off. In cast 1, we have Rock at 150 plus. Ruby is at 150 plus. Jack is at 175 plus. And 9 and Bobby Burden are at 350 plus with 150 pending. In cast 4, we have Cap at 225 circle. Bolt at 200 circle. He has 150 pending. We have Lenny at 0 and Trigger at 125 minus, but he has 150 pending as well. In cast 2, we have Lefty 150 plus with 150 pending. We have Dude at, let's see, 250, 350 plus with 150 pending. We have Axel withdrawn, and we have Fame at 100, 400 plus, and he is struck for 25. And we have Ruby struck again after her last coon for 25. She trees another one, she may have a chance. So yeah, that's it. It looks like we don't have anything from cast 3, but we do have some good casts going. I would love to keep this going until they all get over, but due to time constraints and other extenuating circumstances, I won't be able to do that tonight. I got to get some stuff tore down, some stuff ready, some stuff charging, and hoping I got enough battery and everything to bring you guys that late round properly. I'll bring you the late round, whether it'll be good or not, I don't know. But if I get time to get everything ready, it will be. And then hope you guys can stay up and join me. If you can't, make sure and check that out when you guys wake up in the morning. So remember, like, subscribe, help our sponsors. Thank you to you guys and all the Cane Stream members. And I'll see you guys in a couple hours.